There is a moment on every journey that feels strange, and no one really talks about it. It happens suddenly, usually when you're feeling your best, most connected self, and then silence. The signs from the universe disappear. The repeating numbers you used to see on clocks stop. The coincidences that felt like magic fade away. Even your dreams feel quieter. Most people panic at this point. They think they did something wrong, that they've lost their way. They assume they're out of alignment. But what if I told you this silence is the clearest sign that a massive shift is about to happen? Think about a powerful piece of music. Right before the most epic part, there's often a pause. The musicians hold their breath. The air gets still. And in that stillness, everyone listening leans in, full of anticipation. The silence isn't empty. It's a moment pregnant with what's to come. In the world of manifestation, the same thing happens. The universe pulls back, not because you're disconnected, but because it's preparing to bring your new reality to you. You are in the pause between movements. If you can learn to recognize this, you'll stop fighting the silence and start using it as your most powerful tool. In science, we see this principle too. Before a particle shifts to a new state, it doesn't just jump directly. It enters a state of superposition, a blurry, uncertain place where it's everywhere and nowhere at once. This is the great mystery of quantum physics. Uncertainty isn't chaos, it's pure possibility. When your synchronicities pause, you are in that exact space. Your old life hasn't completely faded, and your new one hasn't fully appeared. You are hovering between realities. In this moment, the universe is asking you not to panic, but to trust. But trust is hard in the quiet, isn't it? We're taught to look for proof that we're on the right track. When the signs vanish, our first thought is that we failed. Yet quantum science tells us the opposite. The moment you can't see the proof is the moment when the most is happening behind the scenes. The physicist David Bohm explained that the world we see is just a glimpse of a deeper, hidden reality. What you call silence is that hidden reality rearranging itself to bring about your next breakthrough. Mystics and spiritual teachers have always known this. The dark night of the soul isn't a punishment, but an initiation. Neville Goddard said that holding on to your belief in the quiet is what creates miracles. Joe Dispenza teaches that when there's no external proof, your mind learns to hold its power on its own. You're not losing your connection. The universe is teaching you to stand in your power without needing constant proof. Imagine the moment just before dawn. If you judged the sky only by its darkness, you'd believe the sun would never rise. But the silence of the night is the promise of the morning. In the same way, the silence before a quantum leap is the promise that the shift is already underway. Your higher self is guiding you into stillness so you can let go of the need for outside validation and find power within yourself. So, if you're here, if the signs have gotten quiet, if the universe feels strangely still, don't think you're off track. Just the opposite. You're in the very space where transformation is forged. You're in the pause that comes before the leap. And just like the space between heartbeats, this pause is not a mistake. It is absolutely essential for life. Stay with me, because next I'll show you why this silence isn't random, why the signs stop right before a shift, and how this exact space is where the quantum leap truly begins. If coincidences and signs are the universe's way of whispering to us, why would they suddenly stop right before something huge happens? To understand this, we need to look at both science and human nature. Let's anchor this new frequency together. Take a breath and then comment, "My shift is here," to make it real for yourself and for the collective. In quantum physics, the observer effect teaches us that just by watching something, we make it real.
The signs you see are glimpses of that happening. They are moments when the universe visibly bends to meet your awareness. But here's the key. If the universe gave you constant signs, you would become dependent on them. You get addicted to needing proof instead of trusting your own inner guidance. That's why right before a major leap, the signs stop. The universe isn't abandoning you. It's training you to live from your new state without a crutch. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, someone holds the seat for you, giving you balance and encouragement. Those early signs are like that hand. They stabilize you. But eventually, the hand has to let go. The silence is that moment. You might wobble, you might panic, but it's in this release that you prove you can stand on your own. Without this stage, you would never become a master of your own life. Our brains confirm this. Your brain has a system that constantly creates a model of reality based on your past. Signs disrupt this model. But when a new reality is about to become solid, your brain needs time to catch up. In that pause, your mind is rewiring itself for the new you. To you, it feels like silence. To your brain, it's a deep update. This is why many people feel anxious when the signs stop. They misinterpret this deep inner work for a lack of progress. Spiritually, every tradition agrees. The yogis spoke of withdrawing the senses as not a loss, but as a way to prepare for a deeper connection. Christian mystics described the silence before a spiritual breakthrough as the cloud of unknowing. Neville Goddard explained that you must hold to your belief without any visible proof, because the lack of signs isn't the death of your dream, but the quiet period before it's born. Joe Dispenza reminds us that your true power is tested when the outside world gets quiet, because that's when your inner world proves it can sustain the new state on its own. So why do the signs stop? Because the universe wants to make sure you can live from your new reality without needing constant external support. Imagine if every time you doubted, the universe had to send you another repeating number or a message from a friend. You would never grow into a master of your own life. The silence is your graduation. It's the universe stepping back and saying, "You already know how to do this. Now show yourself." There's an even deeper reason. In science, when a system becomes unified, outside disruptions naturally decrease. This means the closer you are to your desired reality, the less noise you perceive. The silence isn't the universe turning away. It's the sound of your own inner alignment growing stronger. It's like a perfectly tuned instrument. Once it finds its note, the sound becomes clear and steady. The biggest mistake here is misinterpretation. When the signs stop, most people fall into doubt. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the universe forgot me. That doubt pulls them back into their old state, and the cycle starts all over again. But if you understand the silence for what it is, a signal that your breakthrough is near, you step out of that loop. You stop begging the universe for signs and instead become the living proof. You live the alignment even when nothing outside validates it. And in that state, the leap is inevitable. So the next time the signs stop, don't panic. Smile. Recognize it for what it is, the final step. The pause between your old life and your new one. The hand letting go of the bicycle seat. This isn't the universe abandoning you. It's the universe trusting you. And that trust is the clearest sign that you're closer than ever to your quantum shift. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll explore the science of why your emotions might get more intense in this silence, and why this emotional turbulence is often the clearest sign that your breakthrough is just around the corner. Have you noticed that right before a major breakthrough, your emotions seem to get more intense instead of calmer? One day you feel unstoppable, like destiny is pulling you forward, and the next you're flooded with doubt, anxiety, or even sadness. This emotional roller coaster confuses most people, and they think they're doing something wrong. But here's the truth. The emotional ups and downs aren't a sign of failure. They're a sign that a major shift is happening. To understand this, Let's go back to quantum physics. Particles don't exist in one fixed place until we observe them. They hover in a state of superposition, existing in many possible realities at once before they lock into a single one. There's a lot of energy and movement, a field of potential flickering between outcomes. That's exactly what happens inside of you. When you're on the edge of a major jump, your consciousness is hovering between two realities, the old one you're leaving and the new one you're about to step into. The emotional shifts you feel are the human version of that quantum superposition. You are literally moving between worlds. Our brains add another layer to this. Your brain's job is to predict reality based on what you've already experienced. When you're about to step into a completely new reality, your brain resists. Your subconscious throws up emotional warnings to try and keep you safe inside what it knows. That sudden fear or sadness isn't proof you're off track. It's your brain trying to hold on to the old version of you. At the very same time, your higher self is pulling you forward, igniting feelings of inspiration and joy. The clash of these two forces, the old way of thinking and the new energetic alignment, creates the emotional ups and downs you feel. Spiritual teachers have always talked about this. Buddhists call it the burning ground, a place where the old self resists dissolving right before a new awakening. St. John of the Cross described the dark night of the soul not as punishment, but as preparation for a deeper connection. Joe Dispenza often talks about the need to break free from our addiction to old emotions like worry or stress, because when you're used to feeling those emotions, stepping into a calm, powerful state feels strange at first. And Neville Goddard pointed out that true belief means holding steady to your desired outcome even when your emotions are all over the place. All these teachings point to the same truth. The storm inside isn't the end, it's the passage. From an energetic perspective, emotions are just energy in motion. When you're about to make a jump, your energy speeds up to match the higher frequency of your new reality. This increase in vibration stirs up everything that doesn't match. Old doubts, past fears, and buried emotions rise to the surface, not because you're failing, but because they can't come with you into the new reality. They rise so they can be released. Imagine a rocket getting ready to leave Earth's atmosphere. Right before it breaks free, it experiences the greatest resistance. But that resistance is proof that liftoff is imminent. Here's the secret. The key is not to fight the emotional ups and downs, but to ride them. When you fight doubt, you feed it. When you give in to fear, you get stuck. But when you simply observe the emotions as part of this process, they lose their power. You stop being the emotion and start being the one who is watching the emotion. This is why practices like meditation and breathwork are so important. They give you an anchor when your inner world gets stormy, allowing you to hold your power without being pulled back down. Let's make this real. The next time you feel doubt, instead of saying, "I'm failing," reframe it. Say, "This is proof that my old self is falling away." When fear rises, remind yourself, "This is the turbulence my rocket needs to leave the launch pad." When joy and inspiration return, see them as glimpses of your new life. By changing your perspective, you turn the emotional roller coaster into a confirmation, not a contradiction. The emotional flux isn't random. It's the echo of your own quantum leap in progress. And here's the most important thing. The intensity is temporary. Just like a storm eventually passes, these strong emotions will settle once your new reality is solid. The calm that follows will feel incredibly deep, not because nothing is happening, but because you've reached a state of deep alignment. That's when things feel effortless. So, if your emotions have been on a roller coaster lately, don't panic. Celebrate it. See it as the energetic turbulence that proves your new reality is within reach. Instead of fearing the waves, learn to surf them, because on the other side of this emotional flux lies the life you've been calling in. Stay with me, because in the next phase, we'll explore something most people completely misunderstand, the so-called final test. It's not the universe punishing you. It's your subconscious mind acting out the last echoes of your old identity. It's not a punishment from the outside, it's a pattern from the inside.
And this is why the very challenges you dread may be the clearest signs that your quantum jump is about to happen. The final test is your chance to choose a new path. If you're ready to break old patterns and step into your new self, comment, "I choose differently," and anchor your new reality. Let's look at the science. Your subconscious is like a computer program. Our brains run on patterns created by our past. When you are on the edge of stepping into a new reality, those old patterns activate one last time. Why? Because your brain is trying to hold on to what's familiar. It creates familiar scenarios, arguments, fears, doubts, not because they're real threats, but because your nervous system has been trained to see what's familiar as safe. This is why Dr. Bruce Lipton says your subconscious programming is more powerful than your conscious intentions, unless you break the cycle. From a quantum perspective, this final test is simply the collapse of old energy patterns. When a new reality is about to take, the last pieces of the old energy rise to the surface to be released. It's like how a tuning fork rings louder right before its vibration fades away. That loud ringing is what you feel as the final test. Spiritually, teachers from all traditions have spoken about this moment. The Sufis call it the threshold, the place where the old self resists surrender most fiercely. Neville Goddard said the universe will show you your old beliefs until you persist in holding the new ones. Joe Dispenza teaches that the body, addicted to old emotions, will create scenarios to pull you back into stress or anger, because that's what it knows. In all traditions, the message is the same. The so-called test is not a roadblock. It's a mirror. Here's what it looks like in real life. You've been meditating, raising your energy, visualizing abundance. You feel aligned. Suddenly, an unexpected bill arrives, an argument starts, or an opportunity falls through. Most people panic and think it's not working. But this is the exact moment when the universe is asking you, will you respond as your old self or as your new self? If you react with fear and frustration, you prove that you're still living from the old identity. If you remain calm, trusting, and aligned with your new reality, you show that you've already shifted. And in that moment, the old pattern dissolves. Think of it like a video game. Before you move to the next level, you often face a final boss. But that boss isn't new. It's a bigger, more intense version of everything you've already overcome. The universe isn't blocking you. It's showing you the old energies you are ready to let go of all at once. If you can hold steady in your new self, the boss disappears and you move forward. There's a beautiful image in alchemy. Before gold is revealed, the impurities must rise to the surface when heated. They bubble, they resist, they create chaos. But once they burn off, what remains is pure. Your final test is the bubbling of those impurities. If you see it for what it is, you'll stop fearing the heat and start trusting the purification. The key here is awareness. When something challenging arises, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What version of me is this asking me to be?" That simple shift changes the experience from a punishment to a step forward. Your old patterns are surfacing to give you one last chance to choose differently. And every time you choose differently, you become more deeply anchored in your new reality. So let me be crystal clear. The challenge you're facing right now may not be a setback. It may be the sign that you're only steps away from creating your new reality. The frustration you feel, the doubt that creeps in, the temptation to fall into old habits, these are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are close. They are the shadows cast by the light of your new reality that is just over the horizon. If this feels right, lock it in right now. The next time you feel a challenge, say, "I'm ready to pass the test." Not because the universe demands it, but because you're telling yourself that you're in control. That statement is a signal to the universe that the old story no longer rules you. It is the conscious choice that collapses the past and locks in the future. Stay with me, because in the next part we'll explore what happens right after the test.
the incredible calm, the reset of your nervous system, and the unmistakable clarity that you've already leapt. When the last echoes of your old self have come to the surface and you've chosen to respond differently, something amazing happens. Your nervous system resets. It's almost as if your body breathes out a tension you didn't even know you were holding. This reset isn't just a feeling of relief. It's your body confirming that your quantum jump is becoming your new normal. You move from chaos to a feeling of deep peace, from surviving to creating. If you've ever felt that strange, deep calm after a storm, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In neuroscience, this moment is linked to the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you responsible for rest, healing, and deep integration. For most of us, daily life is dominated by the fight-or-flight system, where stress keeps the body on high alert. But when you stop reacting to old patterns and start living from your new frequency, your body shifts into a state of deep calm. Your heart rate slows, your breath deepens, and your body starts to heal. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this shift moving from survival to creation. It's the state where your body no longer feels danger, but feels completely aligned. This is your moment to claim your power. If you're ready to master the final test and step into your new reality, comment "I'm ready" below and lock in your intention.
Quantum physics gives us another way to look at this. Before a system becomes stable in a new state, it moves through a moment of turbulence. Your nervous system is the part of you that feels this turbulence. When you hold steady in your new state, the turbulence collapses, and your body recognizes this new path as its natural state. That's why the calm that follows feels so profound. It's your biology confirming that it's now living in your new reality. Spiritually, traditions have always recognized this moment of inner peace after a challenge. In Zen Buddhism, it's called satori, a sudden glimpse of awakening where everything feels lighter and more connected. In Christian mysticism, it's the peace that surpasses all understanding. The words might be different, but the feeling is the same. After you've let go of your old self, you experience not just mental relief, but a physical confirmation that you are new. This shows up in your life in surprising ways. The argument that used to make you angry now feels completely unimportant. The financial stress that used to send you into a panic now feels manageable or even neutral. The need to chase and control things quiets down, and in its place comes a gentle, deep trust. It's not that problems instantly disappear. It's that your body no longer sees them as threats. And when you're no longer broadcasting fear, the universe responds with new opportunities, signs, and solutions that match your new calm state. This reset also has a powerful effect on your body. Research shows that when your heart rhythms become calm and steady, your brain waves follow. The result is better focus, emotional stability, and a stronger sense of intuition. Your body becomes a finely tuned antenna for the universe. You see more possibilities, attract aligned opportunities faster, and experience time differently, less as a race, more as a flowing moment. There's one more thing to know about this. The calm after the storm might feel almost too quiet. Many people mistake it for emptiness or nothingness. But that stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the presence of deep alignment. Think of an arrow pulled back in a bow. In the moment of stillness before it's released, all the power is already there. The calm isn't the end of your shift. It's the confirmation that the arrow is about to fly. If you honor this calm instead of resisting it, you'll find it accelerates your manifestation. This is why daily practices like meditation, breathwork, and gratitude are so powerful. They teach your nervous system to live in this state of calm consistently. But here's the deeper truth.
Once you've passed the so-called final test, the calm isn't just a practice. It becomes your natural state. Your body remembers it. Your energy amplifies it. And the reality you experience bends to it. So if you're feeling strangely calm right now, even after recent challenges, don't underestimate it. That calm is your nervous system's way of telling you the jump is real. The shift has already happened. You've moved from reacting to creating, from surviving to living. And this is not fragile. It's the foundation for everything that comes next. Stay with me, because in the final part, we'll explore how to make this state of calm permanent. How to carry it forward so your new life doesn't just flicker in, but becomes your beautiful, lived reality. By now, you've felt it. The subtle signals, the emotional ups and downs, the final test, and then the deep, profound calm. These are not random events. They are the universal pattern of transformation. But here's the part most people miss. A quantum jump isn't just about having a single breakthrough. It's about making that new state your permanent reality. Without that, the shift can come and go, leaving you inspired one day and full of doubt the next. True mastery means living from the energy of your new self until it becomes completely solid in your world. In neuroscience, this is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you live from your new state, you are creating new pathways in your brain. But if you slip back into old habits, the brain reverts to its familiar wiring. This is why consistency is everything. Not struggle, not effort, but simply repeating your new, calm state. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says, nerve cells that fire together, wire together. The more often you live as your new self, the more automatic it becomes. Eventually, the old self feels like a distant memory, and the new self feels like home. Quantum physics shows us the same thing. When a wave of possibility collapses into a particle, it becomes a stable, observable reality. But until that new reality is reinforced, the system stays in a state of flux. Your consciousness plays the same role. The more consistently you radiate the energy of your desired reality, the more solidly it takes form. Think of it like tuning a radio station. At first, you might get some static, but once you lock into the right frequency, the signal becomes crystal clear and stays that way.
If this message resonates with you, comment "I trust the silence" below. It's your declaration to the universe that you understand the process and are ready for the leap. Here's the practical key. Making it permanent doesn't mean doing more. It means being more consistent in your inner calm, more trusting in your energy, more relaxed in your belief. The world around you may take time to fully change, but your inner world must stay unwavering. That's why gratitude practices, meditations, and daily moments of quiet are so powerful. They keep your nervous system living from a place of creation, not survival. Now, imagine what happens when you not only make a quantum jump, but live from it every day. Your nervous system adapts, your brain rewires, your energy field gets stronger. And the universe responds not just with signs, but with a complete reorganization of your life. This is when miracles stop being rare and start being your normal. You don't just shift once, you learn to live in a state of constant growth where new things are always happening. And this is exactly why I've created something special for you. If you want to take everything we've talked about today even deeper, to truly make your new state permanent, unlock your full power, and live from your new reality, I've written a guide that lays out the 7 steps to quantum alignment. It's called Awaken Your Quantum Power. This isn't just a book of ideas, it's a roadmap for making the shifts we've discussed permanent in your life. Inside, you'll discover how to reset your nervous system, regulate your emotions, release old patterns, and fully live as the version of you that already has the life you desire. So let this be your big takeaway today. The experiences you're having are not random. The emotional ups and downs, the calm, the challenge, the shift, these are all confirmations that your jump is real. And now, the work is simply to live from it, to choose again and again to be who you've already become. Remember, you are not waiting for the future to arrive. You are bringing the future to you now. And as you do, the universe has no choice but to meet you there. Stay aligned, stay calm, and never forget. You are not just creating. You are remembering who you really are. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep your energy high, your heart open, and your nervous system calm. The shift is here. You are already living it.